Hello and welcome back to another episode of WTF's AuDHD with late diagnosed sisters Ellie and Paige. We were diagnosed late.
And we're here to vegicate. Sorry, I'm getting bored of that fucking... Yeah. I'm getting bored of that saying.
The tagline, yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, we are here to educate and maybe vegicate. On today's episode, we are going to be chatting about perfectionism and the relationship between perfectionism and AuDHD, autism, ADHD, basically just perfectionism as a coping strategy, why sometimes it can be higher in individuals who are AuDHD or autistic or ADHD. We'll talk about our personal kind of experiences with it and where it's hindered us. And I mean, sometimes it helps us, but in a lot of the ways, it really does hinder. And again, the self-esteem and the self-hate and the just everything.
And the procrastination.
Yeah, the procrastination is a big one. Procrastination's a massive one with the perfectionism, definitely for me. So yeah, I just want to start off though. Yeah.
Oh, we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Oh, that's one of the examples. Yeah, hold that thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Like this podcast took me a while to get to. But we'll chat about that as a real life example shortly. But I just want to, as we usually do or try to do, we just want to shout out a little post in the Reddit. We've got a private Reddit community. Just go to our link tree and you'll find the link there and click join or add me or something. I don't know. And then you have to write something. You don't have to write anything specific. It just makes you write something.
Just do like a space.
Yeah, you don't have to write anything, but most people do write, and it's really lovely. So thank you for your gorgeous messages and those. We really appreciate it. But I just wanted to bring this one up because I think we've got our Reddit community, but I know that Discord can be a really good place for people just to chat and be more conversational as opposed to like a forum where you post. And someone posted asking about whether there's any good AuDHD Discords or chats. And then some people gave some recommendations for like an international one, and then there's also an Australian one. I don't know about New Zealand, but I thought, you know what? This is the catalyst. I think we have started our own Discord. So I'll put it in the link of this episode, and it will also go into our link tree. But we've started a Discord. Just know I have run Discord communities before, but I still really don't know a lot about Discord. So we'll probably have to end up getting some mods at some point. If you are good at Discord, feel free to message us.
I'm really not. I find all the hashtag channels confusing. Like, what are those?
Yeah, well,
are they channels?
They're just places to discuss specific topics so that they don't get all lost. So let us know what topic threads you want in the Discord as well. And We'll start it and we'll just see how many people want to join.
Do you know why I find Discord hard? So I'm already like cutting it off at the knees. Is that the saying?
Yeah, cutting it off at the knees. Yeah. Don't know.
Is the reason why I like something like Reddit and why I find something like Discord confusing is because of object permanence.
Yeah, right. So you don't use it.
Yeah, because like buries everything.
Yeah.
Whereas Reddit, it's like, you know, you can like find it, or like it's like no, it's not that you can find it. It's like that's like there on show on display.
I know what you mean.
Like a bit more than Discord.
Yeah. I think Discord allows you to have lots of conversations, but yeah, if you're not in the conversation, you come in later, you've lost all of that conversation.
Yeah.
But it could be a good way to like seek answers about specific topics. Maybe talk about personal diagnosis journeys if you're comfortable too. That might help other people.
And I guess it's more quick. It's more quick,
instant.
right? Whereas, because it's more like messaging, whereas like it's like Reddit's like a forum.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have two places you can come. So if you're not a Reddit person, you can join the Discord, and if you're not a Discord person, you can join the Reddit. If you're both, then do that too, because they will serve slightly different purposes. The Reddit's more for like topic discussions, and then Discord's more for like engaging with each other properly.
If you'd like both, you could take the double prong approach.
Yeah, exactly. It becomes more of a quad approach at that point.
Why? What's the third thing?
I don't know. Oh, like the Discord's one thing, and then you got to bloody join that, and then you got to join the channels you want to join, and blah, blah. Anyway, we're making it sound really not attractive and like...
I know, sorry.
No, come join. It'll be really fun.
Join. Woohoo, I love Discord.
Yay, it's my favourite. No, it is a really good place for talking about things. So come and join, because I think it's probably about time we started a little proper, intimate community together.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the Reddit's void. It's just we want to give different options for different people. So thank you for those who are actively participating in our Reddit all the time. We really appreciate it. If it's taking a while for you to be accepted, that is 100% my fault. Like I probably only clear the requests 1 to 2 times a week.
Yeah.
So if you are waiting a few days, my apologies. Sometimes I literally forget that it exists.
And I do them like every week.
Paige doesn't really even go in it.
No, you did not just dob me in. Again, it's object permanence. I forgot we even had a Reddit. I'm not even kidding. Like Ellie the other day was like, hey, have you checked the Reddit recently? And I was like, oh my God, that's right. We have a Reddit. That's really bad. I'm very sorry.
No, it's all right. Maybe the Discord will be better. I don't know. Who knows? Well, we can't promise any further interaction.
Maybe
from
I
us.
need to turn my notifications on.
Yeah, but then also it gets really overwhelming. But anyway, we'll have it there for those who want it, and then you can all just hang out together. Because there was this lovely post in the Reddit the other day as well. I'm just trying to find it as I scroll, and I'm padding for time now. But someone basically shouted you out, Paige, for being really vulnerable a couple of episodes ago about feeling lonely as a kid and a teenager. And there were a few people commenting on that, going that they really related to that, and they really appreciated it. So
that's nice. Thank you. I'm glad, people found value in it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
No, yeah, it was very vulnerable of you. And I think you do feel lonely and stuff sometimes, Paige, but this was like a nice reminder that like, you're not alone. You're literally not alone because there's so many other people who feel the same way as you.
So we're all alone together.
Yeah. So are we really that lonely?
That's like a paradox. Is that what it is? Like it's like we're lonely, but then therefore we're not lonely.
That's the thing. This is the thing a lot of the time with like neurodivergent people. I think we can be in a room with 100 people and we feel
still
lonely.
feel lonely.
Yeah, because we feel like we're not connecting with people.
This is, and like going and hanging out with someone face to face is not really what I want either. I would want to do my special interest in silence while someone else does their special interest in the same room. That's company to me. People are like, oh my God, so let's chat. And I'm like, no, that's just like not even what I want, but I am lonely. So like, can you come like hang out with me while I like do my drawing and you like do your whatever?
Exactly.
That's my kind of hangout.
Totally. And I think a lot of other people like that too. So thank you to the person who put the lovely post in about Paige's episode.
Yeah,
and
thank
also,
you.
Yeah, all the comments after that, because it was really wholesome to actually see people coming together and feeling less alone from that. So yeah, come join the Reddit, come join the Discord, do whatever you want. Don't join either if you don't feel like it. No worries at all. But yeah, anyway, back to perfectionism. Perfectionism. The reason we want to talk about this is because there is a correlation between perfectionism and ADHD and autism, actually, and for different reasons. But I definitely have struggled with. It feels like such a weird topic to talk about because it feels like, oh my God, I'm like really struggling to be perfect. It feels weird to talk about.
No, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But like, it's more of for us, like a deeper emotional like thing that like. I feel like it's self-protection because...
It is. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It comes back to the whole like self-esteem thing again where when you're striving for perfectionism, you're never going to meet that. But in the moment, you don't really necessarily know that. So then when you don't make it, you feel really shit about yourself. Or if you do make something that's perfect and you feel that you're really happy with it, that leads to burnout because...
Or because people like us also kind of in ways like... rely a bit on external validation a little bit. So like if I feel like I do something that's perfect or I'm really happy with it and people don't react in the way that like my RST pops off, it's like do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I thought I did this one really well. And
yeah.
Where's my feedback?
And so then therefore if I don't get the feedback that I want, which is so crazy to say out loud, but I'm just saying it how it is because I feel people will relate to that.
Yeah.
I like take it real bad.
Yeah,
like I'm like, oh my God, it must be really shit then.
Yeah. No, totally. But yes, it is a coping mechanism and it's a safety strategy and it's a protective thing. Yuck, Paige just touched my toe. So from the autistic side, when it comes to perfectionism, comes from we like things in order. We have quite black and white thinking. If it's not this, it can't be that. It's very like...
Well, if it's not perfect, then it's wrong.
Exactly right. We want it to be clear, structured, correct. We also don't want to be misunderstood either. We want everything to come across like we're perfect. Even like when someone comes over, I think I've said this before, like my house is not messy, but it's a bit untidy. But if there's someone coming over, that is the biggest motivation for me to get my house looking perfect.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people probably come over my house and think, wow, Ellie's house is just always, under control. It's really not. So for the autistic side, it's about reducing anxiety and portraying. It's masking. It's part of masking and coming across perfect.
I have to come across exactly how I intend to, and if someone misperceives how I intend, it really triggers me.
Yeah, me too.
And people make assumptions about what I'm trying to portray, and they're wrong, oh my God, it really stresses me. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a really hard one because as well, sometimes with the autistic side, we do miscommunicate in quotation marks. We communicate differently, and then the justice sensitivity goes off when someone perceives the way we do something to be different to what we're trying to portray.
Yeah, that gets me.
Very stressful. So yeah, that's kind of the autistic side's more about reducing anxiety, masking and stuff. But then ADHD perfectionism is like, it's the root. The root starts from the fact we can't initiate tasks, so that just makes things hard anyway.
Unless you have like a lot of
dopamine, unless you're really keen on it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, this at school for me, this really affected me quite badly. School was really horrible for me in this way. I was always trying to make sure I did everything perfectly, and because I had a good brain on me, I was able to do so. But then that just made the expectations higher. So over time, it got worse and worse and worse. And then, as you just mentioned before, RSD comes into this too, because you've got that rejection sensitivity. So you want whatever you're presenting, whether it's a piece of work, whether it's your house, whether it's anything, you want it to be perfect. So there's no chance of any rejection. And then it ends up in shame spirals. If you can't do it perfectly, then it's not worth it. It's not worth doing. This was us with this podcast for over it was like a year that we had talked about this podcast.
It was like a year and a half.
Yeah, we were ready for this podcast. We wanted to do this podcast, and something in me just could not start it. And I think it was out of fear of not doing it right. I was worried about representing people wrong. I was worried about looking too privileged and not actually relating to people, and maybe I was worried because we're sitting here freely talking that one sentence would go wrong.
Yeah.
And then I would be just
reamed.
Just reamed, or I'd hate that, or I don't know. There was so much procrastination to this podcast because I wanted to do it right because I care so deeply. It really does come from a place of really caring, probably too much. And then one day we just did it. We just turned the mics on and did it. And then as soon as I'd done that first step, it was like, I don't know what I was waiting for so long.
Yeah.
But it really did affect this podcast. Like we could have been doing this for 2 years by now.
The thing with the ADHD as well is like if you get started on a task and you are trying so hard to be perfect, you just burn out so quickly.
This is the problem. Exactly right. This is why I burnt out at school, I think, because I was striving for perfectionism for everything I did, every subject, every sport, everything, that I ended up burnt out because there's no way you can be perfect at everything. But again, it was a coping mechanism. It was when I was young, I was intelligent. And so from a very young age, a lot of my worth was put on my intelligence and how well I did at school. Mm-hmm. Now I realize how insignificant school really is. Like it is important, but it's not as important as I thought it was.
Well, your identity was kind of based around it.
It really was. And so I was terrified of effing up, being humiliated about something, just not coming across the way that people saw me, which was like quite a high achiever and blah, blah, blah. I was also as a girl, as a woman, this is even worse sometimes, like again, stereotype, but women I think struggle with this perfectionism a little bit more because society's a lot harsher on us. And
the expectations are high, I'm sorry, in a lot of ways. And not in all ways, I shall say. There are ways, I'm sure, like men are expected
to be protectors and be providers and stuff. We 100%. Get that.
But I think I don't know. It's like
no, it's the good girls. It's sit down, be quiet, be good, be perfect. Just don't make a scene. Don't do that. You're just told to constantly just suppress yourself. And then also, I will come out and say, as an oldest child, as an oldest daughter, is what I will say. I think eldest daughters often end up, and I'm lucky, I've only got one sibling, so I didn't really end up being a caregiver, but a lot of oldest daughters in particular end up being caregivers to their siblings. Mm-hmm. They become the peacekeepers, and then that perfectionism eats them up even further.
100%. I even saw just an example yesterday, and I actually see it out in public, but yesterday I was taking my dog for a walk, and there was a mum, she was with the baby, and then there was 3 sisters, I assume they were, walking ahead, and obviously the oldest one, the mum was probably like 30 metres behind. So they were about to cross the road, and the older sister was like, no, I forgot their name, like Amy, Katie, whatever, held their hands, and then were like, all right, now we can go. And I was like, oh my God, cute. Lol. Yeah, cute. But it's like that. It's not like the mum or dad has said, you have to, not necessarily said, you have to do it. But I think it is like an innate thing to an extent as well. But taking that role on then like filters out into your life. I don't know.
Yeah, everywhere, totally. I think, as an oldest child, I will say just child, not even girl, you do kind of feel this responsibility for your younger siblings. And
can you not?
Well, we kind of do. Like, I definitely do.
Yeah, I know. There's like videos of you going, no, Paige, don't do that. You need to do it this way.
Yeah, no, I was perfect. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I took it. I just kicked the table. I took it really seriously, and I think as an older sibling, you have lived a little bit longer. Like, as a kid, you think that's a big deal. Now that we're 2.5 years apart at this age, it doesn't really mean that much. But as a kid, you're like, yeah, I've lived on this earth a lot longer than you.
Yeah.
I know everything. No,
but that's definitely how you made me feel. Like, do you know what I mean? No. It's just fun. I'm just joking, but I'm not joking. You did.
Yeah, I think it did contribute to your trauma too, probably.
No.
All right.
No,
but yeah, this becomes like this whole perfectionism thing for anyone. I'm not just talking about older siblings now, but perfectionism becomes a form of masking and a form of like fawn masking too. Like, you kind of fit in, don't disrupt, blend in, don't look different. And it's also it's just keeping yourself safe.
Mm-hmm.
So the perfectionism starts really young for people, especially girls, and I think especially oldest daughters. Which then we grow up and then we end up really burnt out in our early 20s, which is definitely what happened to me. I kind of grew up to think that mistakes meant danger.
Yes, me too. And now I've really learned, and this is what I say to myself all the time, like, the faster you fail, the quicker you'll progress. The faster you fail, the quicker you'll progress, and the quicker you'll learn, and the quicker you'll be perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect's not possible, but the quicker you'll get to that stage that you really want to be at.
No, exactly. I have really struggled with this my whole life, where I've just not started things like this podcast. I don't start things out of fear of not doing it perfectly, not doing it right, wanting to do it right. That comes into procrastination, where I just delay till the last minute, and then I just boom.
Yeah, this is like such a crippling place for ADHDs, especially because may I say that us ADHDers actually are very talented in a lot of ways, and we have a lot of skills in a lot of fields. We want to be brilliant at all of them, but to know that you can be brilliant at things, but then you can't initiate tasks is like really such a paralyzed, awful space to be.
Exactly right.
It's really crippling.
It is, and especially when you don't know that you are AuDHD or autistic or ADHD, you really internalize it, as we've spoken about many, many times. I had a realization recently, after accommodating myself better and being more considerate of me and like my feelings and stuff, I realized that I was trying to live by all of these self-imposed rules that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like neurotypical kind of rules or setups in my brain of like, I can't do this because then I can't do that. And then I kind of, after unmasking a bit and like learning about my brain, I'm dropping all these rules, like even down to like, you must work 8 hours a day, right? So that's like what's drilled into us.
Oh my God, yeah.
Employer. Now I don't really work 8 hours a day, and it's taken me so long to drop the guilt of not working 8 hours a day, because I'm like, no, but you must work 8 hours. And I'm failing to remember that like my brain is actually going to do a better job if I work half that amount of time, a bit faster maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also base it on like your income rather than time. But I agree, I always struggle with this too, where I'm like, I feel like I've only done like 4 hours of work today. I feel like a slacker. But really, I've just like finished a $2,000 project or whatever.
Exactly.
Just to add to that as well, the whole like, the amount of shit I see online is like, if you're not getting up at 4 a.m. or like 5 a.m. or like 6 a.m., early mornings, the great help your mental health, sure, whatever. We don't necessarily work like that.
No.
A lot of ADHDers actually work better late at night.
Definitely.
I find my creative ideas flow then. So like maybe it's better for us to sleep until 9 a.m. and then work from, X till like 11 p.m.
Totally.
And so I've always gaslit myself in a sense where like if I have slept past like 8 a.m. or especially recently with my business, I'd feel really like bad, but then like I would always have to actively be like, no, Paige, but you just last night you worked till 11 p.m.
Yeah.
really hard on this project. So just like it's taken me time to break that.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of like evolution, I haven't done research on this, but it makes sense that people have different circadian rhythms. Because if you were in the forest, right, or the bloody caveman times, it would be so stupid if the whole community was asleep at the same time, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we should
have
be
to have
staggered.
night watches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I actually personally, I'm more of a morning person. I think we're actually the opposite. I'm more of a morning person.
No, I am now. So I used to. I don't know what's happened.
Interesting.
No, but yeah.
Maybe, do you know what? I actually think I always slept in 2. And I actually think it was to do with my mental health.
Yeah,
I think
same.
I was depressed and I was procrastinating life because I just couldn't face the day. But now that I'm more under control with my mental health, my AuDHD is more under control, I've realized I am a morning person, and my Aura ring that I use has told me I am. Like, it measures your own circadian rhythm and when your best bedtime is, and I'm a morning person.
Yeah, no, I am now, and I honestly put it down to the fact that I'm medicated on 2 medications that work wonders for my ADHD and my PMDD.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I wasn't medicated, it would take me till like 10 a.m. to defrost and I'll be like, life's like, and then finally, you'd get your food, you'd get your coffee, you'd be awake for a few hours, and then you'd get the energy, and so therefore I'd work till late. But yes, it's because my mental health wasn't good.
Yeah, me too. I just didn't want to face the day, and then I'd stay up late at night. Dopamine seeking on my phone, which would mean I'd then sleep in again, and oh my gosh,
the cycle.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So when it comes to AuDHD, the autism and the ADHD combo, when it comes to perfectionism, it can be quite stressful again, like even further, because you're trying to strive for perfection. Like, your autism wants everything perfect. You want to know what to expect. You're trying to reduce anxiety. You want it all to be going the way you want it. And then you've got this handbrake, which is ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, can't start the task, struggle with like silly mistakes.
Yeah.
I used to get so annoyed because I would want to be perfect in, like, say, a university essay. I'd work really hard on it, want it to be perfect, and then I hand it in and I realize one of the sentences has a mistake in it and I've missed a word or something. And then it just like irks me so much that I missed that. And that's my ADHD not sort of brushing over that too quickly and not paying attention to that detail. So the autism and the ADHD, once again, are kind of like battling, where you want this perfectionism, but your brain's not letting you.
Yeah.
Your autism might say, do it right, do it properly, no mistakes. And then your ADHD is like, that's too overwhelming. I'm going to avoid that.
Yeah.
And
do you know as well, like, you can speak to this, is you, is that like that chronic, or therefore that like procrastination, for example, is like, it looks like laziness on the outside, when really it's the opposite. You are not lazy. You're trying so hard to be perfect and do everything right.
Yeah.
But like, then you're called lazy your whole life, which has
Exactly.
its effect on itself too.
Definitely. The procrastination kind of is actually coming from a place of wanting high standards.
Yeah.
But then, from on the surface level, it looks like I'm just lying in bed doing nothing. But it's actually a paralysis that I'm like scared to start, worried about judgment, worried about mistakes, just constant anxiety about everything. I've always had a fear of starting things, and you've taught me a lot of this page in terms of you've just got to try stuff, Ellie. You've just got to try stuff. And we've talked about this before, where you will try stuff and I just won't so much. I'm happy in my safe little bubble, but it means I don't grow. And I think you've probably grown a lot further in the last few years than I have, because you've put yourself out there more. And I reckon it's only in the last maybe 18 months that I personally have actually grown a bit. And it's because I've started this podcast, which was scary. Started really focusing on something and just giving it a go, and like not just sticking to the employment job I have. I've actually started to go a bit outside the comfort zone, and then what do you know? I'm a bit happier. I am achieving probably more than I ever have in terms of my adult life, and I feel a lot better because I'm just trying to drop the perfectionism thing and not worry about what people think of me on social media. And it's a hard thing to kind of get around,
It's hard,
because I've masked my whole life too. And when this is also why I had that really bad bout of depression and stuff in my early 20s, because I'd gone from this like perfectly upheld student who was doing really well and looked just like they had life completely under control, but it led to insane burnout. And this is what happens. The perfectionism really leads to burnout.
Yeah.
And you become self-criticizing constantly. You're full of shame and you feel like you're failing, even though when you do actually hand in a piece of work or do something, it's actually really high quality work, but like you don't see it. You still feel like it's not good enough. It could be pretty much perfect and it's still like, oh no, it wasn't though.
Yeah.
It wasn't. And then you undercut your achievements and everything.
Yeah. You know how like your perfectionism comes from like like not even starting because you're over preparing, or you're not, I don't know. My perfectionism kind of like you said, like I tried a lot of things and I had no problem with like initiating things if I was passionate enough about it. If I was passionate enough, then like I would get started. My perfectionism would come from, hang on. First of all, I tried so many things because I knew from about 21, after being employed, and I didn't know why, now I know why, like how much I did not want to be owned by someone else. I didn't want to be told what to do by someone else. I did not want an office job. I was like, F this shit. How do people do this their whole lives? Obviously, that's just me. And so I had that ingrained from that point. So like I guess that's where my like drive to like try new things came from, and my dopamine. So I would do that. I would try new things, but my perfectionism would come in if I wasn't great at it within 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And then like I'd spent like $500 on like supplies. Like one time I started making jewelry, and then I was like, fuck that. And then I've done so many things. I did pet portraits actually. That actually stuck for a while. Great. But like I've probably tried like 10 different things. I've said this before on the podcast. As I said, I got like a graveyard of like 18 Instagram accounts of like trying new things. Anyway, finally something is stuck. Yeah. Now I'm working myself, so thank God. So I will say like, and all of that has led to this, I think. So I know it's hard. It's just easier said than done. Just try things and stop being so perfect. But if you can start to try and undo that, like just trying to do small things and just, I don't know, like you will find your thing. Like I always used to say to you, like, you have to try things to find that doorway. Like this not working will open up this doorway, and then this doorway will open that doorway, and if you hadn't done this doorway, it wouldn't open up that doorway over there.
Exactly right.
So it's just like,
it's not linear. It doesn't go in a straight line.
Yeah.
And I think a long time it was sort of like, in my very rigid brain, it was sort of like first step, second step, third step, done. But it's not like that. It's kind of one step forward, two back, two to the side, and you really do have to just be comfortable with that, like failure, mistakes, it not being perfect. Because no one is actually perfect. But it's so hard to drop that internalization of it because it's a coping mechanism. It's actually probably a trauma response, and it's sort of like the only way to be kept safe.
Self-protection from rejection, from judgment, from, Yeah.
Even in friendships, you might overthink getting that wrong or try and be the perfect friend. And, oh, no, I forgot that was the anniversary of this person's thing. And then you just spiral downwards and think, oh, I'm the worst friend ever. But really, it's not about getting everything right. Yeah. It's the effort to try your best, pretty much. The only thing you really should be proud of is, have you tried your best? Have you done the best you could do? And if you have, then nice work. Yeah. And again, don't put rules on yourself like I have been, that are actually probably more rules that have been put on by society and for neurotypical lives and all of that kind of stuff. I've really had to drop out. I think one of the things, the ironic things, is that autistic and ADHD people, we don't match what the world has made in terms of the environment, but because we're so like insecure and feeling so rejected, we are trying so much harder to reach those standards even than a neurotypical, that we internalize it even harder, I think, than maybe neurotypical people. And the irony is that we'll never reach that anyway. Yeah. So we're just spinning in a circle, basically chasing our tail. Yeah. And you don't really realize it until you come out of it and go, oh my gosh, I've just been chasing my tail this whole time. Yeah. Holy moly, like this is crazy. And then you end up in burnout and shame and all of the emotional pressure that comes with it. And again, it's really what we're saying is that it all just affects you personally. It doesn't really impact anyone else, the perfectionism. Yeah. Apart from you probably doing things perfectly for everyone else around you.
Exactly. And then everyone expecting that. And if you don't, it's like, oh, is Paige all good? Is that all good? Yeah. I just was looking. I didn't think about perfectionism in this sense. But social perfectionism, often overlooked, and I've just realised this is me. AuDHD people often, I didn't think of this as perfectionism, but I guess it is. Rehearse conversations, yes. Overthink messages, yo. Reread text multiple times, yo. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, I do that all the time. Like, oh my God, so what did they mean by that? And I decipher it when, like, you don't even freaking know what they mean.
That's really the thing, you probably got it wrong anyway.
Yeah. Apologize excessively.
Oh,
that is our, like, it used to be a joke from where I worked. People would joke that my every second word was sorry. Yeah. And then the last one is fear of being misunderstood. I tick all of those boxes.
Yeah.
And I realize like that's perfectionism, sure, but I guess it's as well like the fear of being rejected.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to like appease and like fawn and
Definitely. It all comes together as kind of one thing really. And once you actually realize that you were trying to strive for perfectionism and it's affecting you badly and you're actually not even going to reach that because it's not built for you, it's a huge turning point. Like I definitely, after diagnosis and realizing what my brain's capabilities really were, I've felt a lot less burnt out because of it, because I'm not trying to strive for perfectionism and I am giving more things just a go. But
not your crocheting.
No. Oh no, yeah. I got a crochet set for Christmas last year and I haven't touched it.
Shit, don't tell Mum. Does she listen to this?
No, I told her the other day.
Okay.
I was like, Mum, I'm so sorry, I haven't touched it yet.
It's like a joke. I shouldn't joke, sorry. It's just, no, it's more funny.
I thought that I do actually want to try it, but the problem is
it's nearly Christmas again, bro. Okay, you want the edition 2 fucking.
It's because I have to put work in to learn it. That's the thing, and that's why those sticker books I immediately just attached to because it was easy.
Yeah.
They're really fun.
Hard out.
But yeah, letting go of perfectionism is not easy. You first of all got to realize that if you are trying to strive for that, and if you are and you realize this, then you just need to just stop. No, just kidding. No, but yeah, think about, are there rules you're imposing on yourself, like that you don't need to be imposing? Self-acceptance, again, it's just self-acceptance, lowering the stakes, letting good enough be enough, just good enough.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's fear of failure that we feel. But I'll say it again, to get anywhere in life, literally the quicker you can fail, the better.
Yeah.
Get comfortable with it. Get better. Like, it's all good. I know, like, me saying that, it's just like not going to do it, But I'm telling you, fear of failing is good.
It actually is. It really is how you learn.
Yeah.
I really have taken a while to kind of grab onto that one. Oh, you know what? I knew it. I knew that was the theory, but to actually do it is so different.
Because of fear of judgment and totally. I still have that for sure.
Exactly right. So other places that perfectionism might show up in your life can be things like, delaying big projects because you want them to be perfect, e.g. this podcast. Not starting things unless you have a perfect plan. Like, I can't start it yet because I've got to get all my ducks in a row.
Over preparing and then being burnt out before even starting the task.
Exactly.
That has happened so many times.
Yep. Feeling like you need to earn rest. I definitely have had this issue.
Yeah.
Not so much these days, but as I was younger, I never felt like I deserved rest.
I'm still grasping that one.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry,
No, but you feel like you never deserve rest. And I think as well, when you've got your own business, it's hard to draw that line. It's like, when can I relax and go, you're not working now, Paige? Like, how can you do that? It's really hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard. Actually, Cash has helped very much with it. It's been great.
Yeah, that's good.
What even is a luteal phase, guys?
Oh my gosh, has it fixed you?
It's definitely helped. I hate to say it.
No, that's
I
good.
kind of would think how does 2 times 20-minute walks every day help? Bullshit. The thing with us is it's all or nothing, right?
Exactly.
Now I've realized that actually does help. Just getting a bit of fresh air. Anyway, sorry, don't.
No, it does. No, it does. You're right, and I'm glad that dog's helped you with your routines and just getting yourself out of that house.
Yeah.
Another way that it might show up, perfectionism, is just redoing things multiple times. Like, this is you with your design work.
Oh.
Often you'll do something and it will be great the first time, in my opinion, and then you just ant fuck. Is that what it's called? Where you you just keep going, but it's not quite perfect. And then by the time you finish that, it's probably not even that much better than the first thing you did. Well, if anything, it might be overcomplicated.
Yeah, for sure. The projects that I think are the best that I've done are the ones where I have a time pressure. And I just have to commit to ideas and commit to concepts. Yeah. And then I get it done. And then I'm like, oh my God, that was so good. The ones that I feel like aren't so good is when I have time to ant-fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even when we were putting our podcast award entry in for the New Zealand Podcast Awards for this podcast, I reread and rewrote and just scoured through that so many times to the point that I didn't even want to submit it. And then as I'm pressing submit, I'm hovering over the mouse, it's just, but it was probably fine the first time.
Yeah, it was great.
My first thing I wrote was probably absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even just perfectionism can become into avoiding activities you want to try.
Yeah.
But you don't want to because you're too scared and blah, blah, blah. Are there any more things that show up for you in your life when it comes to perfectionism?
Yeah, can we talk about like the last 10% of a task? If I do get started on something and get like nearly done, like honestly, the last bit to wrap it up is the biggest slog of my life. Like I have no dopamine left.
Yeah, neither.
And I like really struggle to get it done.
Yeah,
that's why Dad got called the 90% guy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a real ADHD thing, eh?
It is.
So yeah, completing tasks is like a real issue for me, I think, as well. Like even as small as like the dishes, like. I never quite complete it, or like I went and like planted some stuff the other day, and then like usually my soil goes in my Harry Potter cupboard.
The cupboard under the stairs.
The cupboard under the stairs, and the soil and stuff sat outside for like months. Oh, you seen all the plants that I've pulled out of my garden?
Yeah,
they're all just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like I don't fully ever finish tasks ever.
No, it's hard. It is a real ADHD thing. And then when you've got the autism too, then the self-hate comes in because it's just like, why can't you just get rid of that bloody soil that's sitting there? Like, oh, so annoying. Do you have any strategies that you find helpful with this? Like, have you learned anything?
Ritalin?
Yeah, I mean, medication and diagnosis always helps.
Yeah.
No, totally.
For me,
I've just started kind of thinking, I've just kind of taken the approach of like a little bit is better than nothing. Like starting it's better than not starting it.
Yeah,
and
nice.
It sounds simple.
Have you tried the 5-minute rule?
No, but you explain it.
Yeah, so if you've got this really big daunting task and you're like, you've just put it off for weeks or whatever, you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And you say to yourself, like, I can stop after 5 minutes. And therefore, it's not such a big mountain. And therefore, you start the task. You get to the 5 minutes, and 90% of the time, you won't want to stop because you've now got the inertia. You've started it, which is always the hardest part, is starting it. And then you'll find that you don't stop 90% of the time, and I find that helps. So don't think of it as the huge task you have to do, but just go, okay, I'm going to work on this for 5 minutes. You open up your laptop, the time is going, you open up Photoshop if it's what I'm doing, and then like an hour later I'm like fucking hyper focus there. So the 5-minute rule
does help. It does help. Also, just don't doubt yourself as much. Like if you're striving for perfectionism in anything you do, you probably are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Because at least you're trying to be good.
Yeah.
I think we really put these huge standards on ourselves, and I think it comes from also years of rejection and wanting to be accepted and wanting to have some sort of value in quotation marks. Like I said earlier, my value when I was younger came a lot from my schoolwork and my achievements at school. And then when I left and there was no sort of like awards and structure of that at like university and after, I felt really lost. I didn't know where my worth came from. And you realize you have to just find it within and just be happy with who you are deep down. And I think using timers, like you just said, can help break the perfectionism. Like just even do an hour. Like if you do get started, go, I'm just going to do 60 minutes and then I'm going to walk away again and then you'll come back fresher again. But just know that if you have struggled with perfectionism and it affects you, you're not alone. It definitely ties in with neurodivergence and the trauma that we go through. It's not necessarily a trait or symptom of it. It's not in the criteria for AuDHD, but it's definitely a phenomenon that happens to people who have ADHD and autism.
It's like as a result of living with ADHD and or autism.
Yeah. Just like I believe RSD is possibly part genetic, like in terms of maybe we have a more sensitive nervous system, but I also think RSD comes a lot from the environment. I think that's more about
rejection.
The rejection over time and then it becomes highly correlated in the ADHD or autistic community, but it's not necessarily a trait of it.
Yeah, rejection. Like that one time at uni in front of 20 fucking people, this guy goes, "Why do you keep doing this?" and like mocks my twitching. Asshole. I still know who you are, and I think you are a disgusting human.
That is such
Cut that out.
No, but we shouldn't be judging each other, and that stuck with you for so long.
Oh, it stuck with me for so long. And then also there was another time at band camp. No, another time that I was at athletics and these two girls behind me were like going like this with their eyes, like squinting real hard, like mocking me, and mum like told them off.
I remember that.
Which made me even more embarrassed because thank you, mum. But like as a kid, you're like, oh my God, I'm even more like not normal because I'm like the special kid. Yeah, the special kid that has to be like looked after.
Yeah.
There's just two examples for you. Anyway, I'm sure everyone has a lot of their own examples, but
totally.
It's just very fresh on my mind because I was talking to my therapist about it.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Also, can I please say
Yeah.
what I told you, what I learned?
Oh, yeah.
That RSD a lot of the time can get misdiagnosed for BPD, and it disproportionately happens to women. Classic.
Yeah, so they come in to a doctor or a psychiatrist, they appear emotionally unstable, they appear sensitive, they appear to have mood swings, etc.
Yeah.
And that can all come from RSD, which is part of predominantly ADHD. But instead they get diagnosed with borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
This is another misdiagnosis, Like, we've talked about bipolar before being misdiagnosed.
Yeah.
But borderline personality disorder as well.
And it happens way more often with women, that they're misdiagnosed. It's like, why? Because women are fucking hysterical and crazy?
No, my gosh, we can't control our emotions.
Anyway, so that's just a fun little fact for you.
No, it's good to know. And it's important. Like, if you have a BPD diagnosis and you've always questioned whether it's actually true, you could be right. Like, you actually may be just ADHD with severe RSD.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because I guess they can, on the surface, appear very similar. But it's what's going on inside that actually makes the difference.
I think just quickly as well, before we wrap up, with the perfectionism, there's obviously a lot of reasons why I don't necessarily want kids. It's scary, all the pattern recognition, all that, blah, blah, blah. But also perfectionism. Like, I know that if I'm a parent, I would want to be the best parent, and I wouldn't want to carry on working and shove my child into daycare. Oh my God, no judgment to anyone who does do that.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I just think like the reason why I'm like, that's a lot to handle is because that would be my full-time job for like however long. And I honestly don't want that. I love my career and my life too much.
Totally. And you're not going to be ever a perfect parent, because you'll probably, if you had a kid, you'd definitely lash out at them with a mood or a meltdown by accident.
Yeah.
And then the shame comes in, and I'm sure parents listening have felt this.
I just think that like there's like this perception that people who choose to not have kids are selfish, are like, oh, you just don't, whatever it is. It's actually the opposite. It's actually because I would want to be the best parent. It's actually because I would like,
you can't be the best parent.
It's because it would consume my life, because I would want to that I just go, it's actually like my standards are too high, that like it's actually just too much to attain, therefore I won't do it. Whereas I think it's perceived by people all the time like, oh, having kids, it's a bit selfish. Also, how is that selfish to your unborn, non-existent children? Like,
no, exactly. It's definitely quite, I actually think it is selfless if you don't have kids, and you internally maybe want to, but choose consciously not to.
This is the thing.
Yeah,
I could have them and then like earn enough money, which I am, thank you very much, to pay for daycare, pay for a nanny. I just wouldn't do that.
Yeah. You want to do it? You want to be all in?
I'd want to be all in or nothing, like a perfectionist.
Well, maybe is that an issue? Is this something you need to unpack with your therapist?
I don't know, but this is the thing. Like, the world's like, oh, women can have it all, and so they can. But then women are just doing everything.
That's the thing. At what cost?
At what cost? They're doing they're working 40 hours a week, and they're doing all like 90% of the at home labor, and then they're doing 90%, 80%, 60% of the parenting. Sorry, I sound like this is coming from like a really like angry place, but it's like a lot, and so I know that in this day and age, it would have to be my full-time job as a parent, and I just don't think I want that, because I would have to give myself up.
Yeah, totally. And also at the moment with finances in the whole world, like it is really expensive, and most women and mothers that send their children to daycare don't actually have a choice, because they have to go out and earn money as well as their partner.
Exactly.
It's really hard to bring up kids on one income these days unless you're earning heaps. And that's why I don't like hearing like toxic conversations from people and some men who say, oh, it just works, that the girls should be in the kitchen, or the girls should be bringing up the kids, and us men should be working because it just works. It's like, but you're not taking into the context that these days we have to work. We have to work. What do you mean? We don't have a choice.
This is the thing.
What are you talking about?
Before that, the traditional roles, right, was women are at home with the kids doing that and chores or whatever, dinner, and the man is at work. That's fine in a society where you can live off one income.
Yeah.
What's happened now is that we can't do that. Women are now working, so therefore we're taking the load of some of that, but the men are not taking the same load from all the other tasks that have to be done. I'm sorry. It's like,
True.
not in all families. I know there's some brilliant men
dads
out there.
Yeah.
But I think like the issue in the society is that like we've kind of taken over some of that load, but they have not done the same in the opposite way. So women are still doing 90% of the parenting, 90% of the cooking, cleaning, and they're still thinking of it in the sense that, that's the woman's job. It's like, well, we're now doing like what you're doing.
Yeah, what you're
plus
doing,
Anyway, sorry, I don't hate men. I love men.
Yeah, same.
Please don't come at me. I just think like it's like.
No, the reason I brought that up actually is, we're going to have to wrap up in a sec, but the reason I brought that up is I'm watching Big Brother Australia at the moment, and there was this conversation that happened between
oh no,
two men, and it just infuriated me. They were just having this exact conversation and saying, yeah, it just works. Like, I don't know why, and I'm just sitting there yelling at my TV going, you two men specifically, not men in general. These
careful
two men,
before we...
have no idea what they're talking about. And then they also proceeded to start talking about how there's no gender pay gap and that they're sick of hearing that bullshit because they all have the same opportunities as they do. Oh
my God. The problem is that the oppressors don't see the issue because
they are privileged.
They are the privileged ones. The only people that see the issue are the oppressed because we're the ones that experience it.
Exactly.
So it's such a hard thing to get through to these knuckleheads because so
infuriating.
Because if they're not experiencing it, they don't think that it's there.
Exactly. One of the arguments was, it's so much harder to become like a league star as a man than it is as a woman because the pool's way smaller, so you guys could easily just become sports stars. And
Shut the
And then one of the girls said, but isn't that because there's less opportunity for us? And they're like, no, same opportunity.
Oh my God.
How do you not know that the money and the funding has gone into men's sport for so many bloody years? Anyway.
Well, should we turn this into a fucking...
We've gone off the rails here.
No, I don't care. I love this chat.
Because then also there's the perfectionism that comes back to us where we're trying to be perfect, we're trying to do everything, and then these people say shit like that.
Breathe.
Okay, we probably should wrap that one up,
are we going to get hated on for this convo?
I don't know.
I don't think by the right people.
No,
I think the people
listeners,
that are our people will totally get it. Even the men. I think
Definitely.
men that listen to this will get what we're saying because they're highly intelligent.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Anyway, I want to recommend a great show that's out. It's in the BBC in the UK, but it's on 3 Now in New Zealand. It's called Film Club. And it's by Amy Lou Wood, who she's in Sex Education.
I love her.
Love her. So,
oh my God, she's neurodivergent. Can we get her on here?
I messaged her.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I haven't heard back, but I have messaged her. So I would love to talk to her because she wrote this whole show called Film Club without realizing she was AuDHD. Oh. And the whole show is literally the life of an AuDHD girl struggling, and then she got her diagnosis after she wrote it and was like, oh my gosh, in hindsight that whole series is about being an AuDHD girl.
Isn't this funny that it just goes to show in writers' rooms it's important to have diversity because people unknowingly and subconsciously write from their perspective.
Exactly.
So when you have just white men, you're gonna have
whitewashed content. Totally. But Amy's amazing, and she wrote this whole show, and I loved it. It's only 6 episodes, really easy, bite size, and it's a really, really good show, and it's one of the best representations of AuDHD I've ever seen in media, and I just love her. She's amazing.
She's so cool. I also think she's like so gorgeous. I'm sorry, I, as a person, and not that I hate talking about women, people and their looks, but she's such a cool bitch.
She's awesome.
And did you see like how she got like shit for her teeth?
Yeah.
And I love her teeth.
Her teeth are so unique.
They're so cool.
Better than the veneers.
Sorry that we're not all just out here looking like Kim K. I love you, Kim. I love you. I love her so much. But like, let's be real.
No, totally.
I'm sick of it. This fucking beauty standards. Anyway.
Yeah, the perfectionism again. The perfectionism of beauty standards, blah, blah. Anyway.
I love how passionately this end of this ep has got.
It's got a bit intense. But thank you for listening, and go and watch Film Club if you want, because it's such a great show, and hopefully we can get Amy Lou Wood on the podcast.
Oh my God,
Monday.
that'd just be such a moonshot goal. Okay.
I would love to talk to her. I bloody love her.
I love her.
I might try and find her agent so I can get through that way.
Oh my God, yeah, okay.
But yeah, anyway, have a great week, and we'll see you next week for another episode, and just, stop perfectionism. You're perfect the way you are.
Just stop it. It's that easy, guys.
Perfect. Oh, that's not the right word.
Wait, what are you?
I'm singing Perfect by One Direction, but I really screwed it up.
I did not even know what song that was. Okay, let's go before we get told off, because one time we got told off for singing.
Oh, you're singing. Sorry.
Sorry.
Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.
Join the Discord.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.